Hello, beautiful and exotic women of the world. In today's video, I want to discuss your beauty and how you can use it as a weapon to progress and better your life and your circumstances. Now, we all know pretty privilege exists in society, and though it may be shallow, quote unquote, it is an aspect of human interaction that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If you're an exotical, you are no stranger to pretty privilege and all the benefits that come with it, whether it be free drinks at the bar, people that let you skip them or go before them in a line. I experienced that a lot at grocery stores. And it could even be simple things like you're spoken to a lot nicer and catered to in settings like restaurants, stores, and other places where you may spend your money for a service. You will experience people just being kinder and more courteous to you. That's just because, again, you are most likely a gorgeous, beautiful woman, and that beauty tends to hold a lot of power and it has a lot of influence over people, and they are more likely to treat you better. Beautiful women tend to get what they want from men as well. We know that men have an affinity for a pretty face, and so you're more likely to have your way if you understand men's psychology and how to use your feminine energy to get what you desire from men. Now, I'm not in any way saying that you should be manipulating men or abusing men psychologically or mentally at all. It's not what I promote on this channel. You have to learn how to use your feminine skills to get what you want and get what you desire from the people around you, especially if you're dating. It's important to understand that those skills are at your disposal, especially if you are a gorgeous woman. Now, femininity is something we're born with, but if you aren't taught how to be feminine, or someone in your life has suppressed your femininity at a young age, you may struggle with how to tap into it. For me, I know that I can definitely relate to the latter, which is my femininity was suppressed at a young age. I had an idea of what I looked like because when I would go out when I was little, when I would go outside, people would always compliment me and tell me how beautiful I was and how pretty I was. But unfortunately, I had a narcissistic mother. And the sad thing about being abused by a mother is that your mother kind of instills confidence in you. So if she's not pouring into you, she's depleting from you. And so I struggled with learning how to be feminine, learning how to love myself and view myself in a high regard and have confidence, because I wasn't given the tools and the skills to love myself. And so that's something that I had to cultivate and work on as an adult. And it takes a lot of hard work, but eventually you get to a place in your life where you wake up and realize how amazing and beautiful you are, even if you didn't have the perfect mother in your life to tell you those things and to pour into you and make you feel confident and secure in yourself. And I know this is something that a lot of exoticals deal with, is they may have a mother who wasn't supportive of them or didn't teach them how to love themselves or was abusive in any way. And all those things really do defeat a girl before she can even get started. It's kind of like you're at a disadvantage when the time comes for you to go out into the world and you have to kind of learn those skills on your own. That's just a little bit about my background. I had a suppressed feminine energy. I didn't know how to be feminine, what I needed to do to awaken it or to use it to my benefit. So some of the things that I've done and learned over the past few years as I've been coming into my grown woman adult years is finding hairstyles and colors that suit my face and my skin tone. Because once you lock down that signature style, that signature look, and you lean into it more, it becomes a part of your identity. So learn what makes you you and what hairstyles, colors, styles makes you you and brings out the best in you. I would also say I use makeup to enhance my beauty, and I'm not saying to walk around with a cake face all the time, but just learn different techniques with your makeup that will bring out the best in your features and ultimately just make you look more alluring, more pretty, more beautiful, and just more seductive. When it comes to feminine charm and knowing how to seduce, once you learn these things, it gives you a better chance of receiving opportunities. It gets you into rooms that normally others wouldn't be able to get into, and it gives you the best possible outcomes when it comes to dating and men and just all around just experiencing a better life. I know that once I tapped into my seductive nature, which is within every woman, we just have to tap into it. That's a skill that we have to hone in on and refine until we get it. But once I learned that, once I learned how to talk to clerks at a store a certain way and give them eye contact in a certain way to ensure that I was going to get the best possible service, or I was going to get a favor from somebody, or I was going to get some type of preferential treatment, I learned how to turn that on so that I can get that. That's something that I've definitely been practicing in my more young adult life now, is just learning how to use my charm and my femininity to get the best possible outcomes out of life. Because guess what? This life is meant to be lived, and it's meant to be lived in a prosperous and abundant way. And I genuinely do feel like people's impressions of you and what they perceive of you gets you further when you know how to utilize your outward appearance and how you talk and just the impressions you make on people. Some people like to say that it is shallow, and what I say is never let anyone make you feel shallow or tell you that you're shallow for using your beauty as a superpower. We were blessed with it for a reason. Exoticals were blessed with our beauty and our just uniqueness. I don't like when people try to shame exoticals or just beautiful women in general for tapping into their pretty privilege, because we aren't the ones that made it up. We aren't the ones that created it. We aren't the ones that withhold it. If there's someone who has an issue with you tapping into your femininity and taking advantage of your pretty privilege, they most likely don't have it and they wish they could. But that's not your problem. That's neither here nor there, because men are the ones that created this in society. So if they want to argue with somebody, they need to argue with the men, period. I want to, again, just encourage you to never feel like you're being shallow for acknowledging that you are beautiful and utilizing the skills and tools that come with your beauty to get what you desire and to ultimately level yourself up and receive the best treatment and the best things out of life. That is your birthright, and you have every right to tap into that. Lean into it and don't be afraid of it. So please leave your comments down below on what you think about pretty privilege, what you think about using your femininity, using your beauty and your charm as a weapon to get what it is that you desire and to protect yourself and to ultimately get the best outcomes out of life. Also, please send me any of your stories or experiences to my email. It will be in the description box below. I hope you ladies have a lovely day.